Welcome, welcome. It's the Live, Love, Laugh, and Let Go Out Loud with Lynn Serrano. And today I have...
Oh my gosh, you got Tim Gillette on your show? Wow. He's like a rock star, right? I can't wait to watch.
Well, Tim Gillette's going to be on the show today. And I am excited, like I always am, about my guests. But I got to up it up every time. And so some people just, you don't know how to introduce them. So I'm gonna do this real quick.
Hey, everybody. Good afternoon and welcome to the Tim Gillette Show. I am Tim Gillette, your host, and this show is all about finding out who the coolest people are on the planet. We have real conversations with real influencers. These are big about making a real difference in our world, and this is not like this fabricated conversation. No, this conversation is going to be a real one today, all right, where we find out real things about our guests and real things about what they're doing to change the world.
Yep. And you know what? That's how my show is. So I thought that would be a great thing. But you know what? I've known Tim a little bit, but not really. But I feel the same way he does about this.
We're back here with another great guest. Today's guest, I've just met this person. I don't know her very well. And this is the best way I love to do interviews. I love getting to know people live on camera. So maybe you'll catch me go, oh, or something like that when she tells something that's unique about her business, or maybe you'll just, it'll be a regular interview. I don't think so. I get the feeling this is going to be an interesting interview. I don't know why, but
again, that's just how I see it too. But before that, let me do my traditional little intro. And I think he's a rock star. So this is why I picked this music. Welcome, Mr. Tim Gillette. Welcome to the Live.
I forgot you found all that. I have all that stuff out online. It's been so long.
Well, you know what? I do my work. Have you actually ever watched this show?
I've watched your show. Yeah, it's everybody's shows. I have shows always playing in the background. I have 3 screens, so if I'm working, I have somebody's show usually playing over here in the background. So yeah. I got a TV in my office. And when the news got bad, I shut it off and I started watching other people's shows instead.
No, I want to thank you. You're always supporting or popping into my show. And it's always been an honor when you take time to do that. So that's touched my heart a lot. So I wanted you to know that I was, giving you a little tribute back there. So welcome to the show, Tim. You want to say a little bit about you really quick? And then we're going to get started with some questions. So we'll talk about that here in a little bit too. So anyway, so go ahead, Tim.
A little bit about me. I'm Tim Gillette. I'm a guy who makes a living being myself. It's so cool, but mainly I've spent most of my time in the past 12 years with online marketing, but from the blogging, then into podcasting, then into live videos. So most of the time I'm helping people with a message that can be used, create content one time and put it over 3 to 4 different platforms with the same content. And I helped many people over the years. I've helped some movie stars, helped some rock stars, helped one of my clients is a Disney Imagineer. Help people who own the patent to your 5G phone, 4G phone. I mean, I help people in a background kind of way get public with what they do. That's just how I help people. And I'm not like this. Everybody thinks I'm a great marketer. I'm a lousy marketer. I'm a lousy salesman. All right, because I like to stay in the background and I can't stand going, Tim's a good guy. I can't stand that. I just, and I understand that's marketing and it's all of my clients. They have to do that. But I'm a guy who hates that. Like you would not believe how much I hate that, but that's just part of the game and I hate it.
It's funny because I'm into marketing too. And I don't usually tell anybody. I brand myself. And that's what you and I always tell people, brand yourself, because products can come and go and then you put yourself in a corner. So I love you said that because I grew up being behind the scenes and here I am with a show, but I got to have a co-host or I got to interview somebody because I'll be out here, but not here. Anyhow, so let's get into some questioning here. So what things have you let go out loud? Because, you know, you can't live, love, laugh until you've let go of a few things. So why don't we start there?
Let go out loud. I don't know. That's a weird question. I'm trying to think. Let go out loud. I don't know.
So have you been vulnerable or transparent about anything in your life? And that's basically what I'm asking.
Yeah, you know, in 20, and it was a very defining moment in my live streaming career. 2016, I lost a friend that I had not spoken to since like we were 14 and 13 years old, and it touched me in a way that day that I can't explain, because I remember this girl's mom and dad growing up. I mean, I know she lost her dad when she was like 15 years old. All right. And her mother was not able to be there when she died, because her mother was with her brother who was dying from the same disease. And I felt bad because this lady and her husband were friends of my parents growing up. And this poor lady watched her husband die, watching her son die, and her daughter died. And it hit me very much emotionally. And I made a video. I just turned the camera on and talked to people about some of the crap that I'd gone through in my life. I revealed the fact, and I was even talking with my mom this morning at coffee, of, you know, I never forgave my grandfather for something stupid he did when I was a kid. And I carried his coffin. And I remember standing there in the church when the minister said, "Hey, tell me, you know what I mean? Asked each one of his kids, tell me about your granddad, what he meant to you." And I said, "He's an effing drunk who hung out in the basement." That's what I said about my grandfather. And every one of my cousins and my brothers had something great to say about my grandfather because they spent time with him. I didn't. I was the only grandchild who carried his coffin that never spent time with him as an adult, because I never forgave him for what he did to me. You know, and I was real about that he got drunk one night and he punched me and my cousins because he was drunk and mad at us. So,
you know, well, yeah, thanks for sharing that, you know, and I feel you on, you know, not realizing and appreciating or getting to say things to people after they've passed, you know, and that's always gotten to me. And that's why this live, love, laugh, I try to honor people while they're here and not when they're gone.
That's right.
So, you know, I know you, so I'm going to throw this up here real quick.
What do you say about a good friend like Tim Gillette? That he's a really good friend. He's willing to take the shirt off his back to help out any friend. He's really good with his clients. And he's a serial entrepreneur. And he's really well read and, well, what can I say, dude? He's a really good friend. Love ya.
So
my co-host, yeah, one of my
podcasts. She co-hosts this show, right?
Yeah.
I peek in every now and then. And and then I've got another one here.
Tim Gillette has a ton of information to share, and I've known him for quite a few years. He has always been one of those individuals that loves to give, loves to share, loves to find ways of helping business owners with not only their blog, but their vlog, so video, as well as how can they get out in front of the public when it comes to video. That's something that's so important. And we started to do this a little bit more when we came together to do our joint podcast. But even before then, I see the value he's brought through his trainings that he does. He's also done his Facebook Lives. He has weekly calls as part of his mastermind group. And then he also does at-site locations. So if you have the opportunity to check out Tim Gillette, you will see the value that he brings to his clients. And as an individual, he's just very giving and caring. So check him out, timgillette.com.
My other co-host.
Oh yeah, wait, and that one's about this, right?
Yeah, that's our drinking podcast, which we actually will be doing that tonight.
Oh,
So
so
we record that on Monday nights.
So here we go. I got something for you. I want to ask you.
Hey, Tim, what kind of drink you like to drink before your show, huh? Just asking for a friend.
I believe it or not, I am not a heavy drinker. I love whiskeys and moonshines, believe it or not. Yeah.
I just had to do that. I did that at the last minute. I cracked myself up.
That is funny, but yeah. Everybody thinks, well, for the longest time, like my mentor, I think you know him, Craig Duswalt. All right, I've known Craig quite a few years. I think I've been in his elite program since he's had it. All right.
Wait. You mean wait? Before you go any further.
Uh-oh, she's got something that Craig said about me.
Well, just hold on.
I kind of know this guy now. Let's face it. All right, we've been friends for 10 years, I think, and when I first met him, I was in awe, and I thought he was the coolest person on the planet. And now the roles are reversed. He'll tell you I'm the coolest guy on the planet. But anyway, he's one of the coolest people on the planet. That's why he is on the show. I literally have to tell you guys that this guy here is the reason you have and are able to view the Tim Gillette Show. Truthfully, it is. This man has been my coach and mentor since 2012, and there is a ton of areas that he has pushed me to go do that I am so happy he did. I'm just saying. But you're going to get to know my coach, my mentor, my friend, Craig Duswalt, today. We're going to bring him on the show here. You ready, guys? Let's get to meet him. Mr. Craig Duswalt.
Look, I'm clapping for myself.
I know. It's like
really sad.
Okay, so I messed up, and I didn't get enough time to tell Craig to come on here. I actually messaged him last night, and I messed up. But I also had this other clip though of it
next week. Yeah.
Lord have mercy.
So Craig, all right. Now, first of all, my audience knows you because I mention your name all the time. By the way, my royalty checks are coming in soon, right?
Yeah. They're in the mail. Yeah.
Because like every one of my podcasts, you're mentioned on. Finally, you're on it though.
Well, that's what the check is for. So we're good. Okay, this is marketing.
Okay, so he better pay you for that, even though he didn't realize. But no, seriously, I just seen Craig in Kim Wall's Grow Live Academy. I spent Thursday night with him, so I was like, "Dude, darn it!" So I dropped the ball on that one. I didn't get him to do a video.
Craig's very, very busy right now. He's got an event coming up in a couple weeks here. Yes. All right, he's managing his son's band.
Yeah, it's super cool. Cool. And it's funny though, because not only was I with Craig, I was with this guy on Thursday night, and I did get a video here from this one.
Well, I met Tim Gillette probably 12 years ago or so, maybe even 13, 14 years ago. And I remember we were standing outside of a hall where a seminar was going on. And we just started a conversation. And it was at that time that I realized his uniqueness. And no, it wasn't his long hair then. It wasn't the way he dressed. But it was really the uniqueness of who he was. He's inquisitive. He always was striving to be better and looking to do things differently. And I just really had a great appreciation for the person that he was and that he is today. Since then we've had dinners at multiple places and multiple locations that were some in California and some at other venues, and it's always just been fun when we get together because he's a genuine person. And one of the things I love about him most is that he's always constantly wanting to get better, and it's always been fun to watch the creativity that he has, the new things. I know he loves to go to this little coffee place and have coffee. I know he loves motorcycles, and if I remember right, he traded and got him a truck. So anyways, Tim, you're a great guy. I appreciate you, and I look forward to seeing you on Lynn's show.
Okay, so I know some people that know some people, but thank you, Bob Donnell. Yeah. I appreciate that.
Yeah, I love Bob, and I remember that first conversation when we met. And I want to say we spent that conversation started as like a 5-minute that carried on for almost an hour at the bar. And I was so impressed with what he does.
Yeah.
All right. Because the way he works with people, and I've sat at the beach house with him when he had the beach house, sat there and I sat there one time with him and Glenn Morshower. We're just
Oh, I
nibbling
love
on
Glenn.
we're nibbling on barbecue chicken he just threw on the grill and just hanging as guys.
Yep.
And that was I've had some of those heartfelts with Bob Donnell. And I do know a couple years ago, I was going through a tough time, and Bob Donnell just called me up one day. I was in the truck driving somewhere, and he called and he goes, "Hey man, he said something laid in my heart that I got to call you today and check on you." And I said, you have no idea how much I need this. And we probably spent 35, 40 minutes, and he's a heartfelt guy too. And I'm so glad he's in my life. And I know what the things that he's doing now, man. My prayers and stuff go up for him with all the stuff he's trying to do. I know he drove out to Uvalde here in Texas to help people, and that's just what he does. So,
Yep. I love it. So we're blessed, Tim. We know a lot of great people.
We do.
We
Hugely blessed. So by the surroundings of people I've put around me in my life.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what I mean? I have always had that theory that if I'm the smartest guy in the room, I need to get in another room.
Yeah.
So I go to rooms where people like Bob Donnell are, or Craig Duswalt, or Glenn Morshower, or Ken Walls. Like those are the rooms I want to be in, because those people they help me to become better, be more.
Absolutely. So what makes you laugh other than me already?
I am a stickler for stupid jokes. All right. I'm always telling stupid jokes. Like,
okay. We got a question for you there later. So that's good to know. Okay. So I'm going to even make you laugh with this one. Listen to this.
Okay.
So have you ever gotten yourself in a pickle? What kind of pickle would you say you got yourself into? That you learned the most valuable lesson ever.
It's funny you have that, because I had an event where it was actually the very first podcast movement. And it was held here in Dallas, Texas. And I know the founders of Podcast Movement. I knew all four of them started that. And I had a booth next to the podcast pickle booth. I'm not kidding you. And I have a picture of the podcast pickle with my sign, my old sign, next to it, like when I was doing Rock and Roll Keys Business Success.
That's great and everything, but I got to say this.
Come on. You can do better than that. Answer the question.
See, I had to be prepared for people trying to wiggle their way out of a pickle. So tell me a pickle you've been in.
Well, I am currently in a pickle, but I cannot talk about it for legal reasons.
Okay.
That.
Okay, well then tell me
probably the worst pickle of my life, and I can't talk about it on air right now.
Okay, well you'll be back for that one.
But
in the meantime,
that one, because it's one of those things that like I'll make $1 million telling the story someday.
Yeah, well, okay, so I'll get that exclusive on that. But right now, remember, answer the question.
I avoid questions.
What the heck are you doing on my show?
The pickles. No. The pickles I've been in is being asked questions like this all the time.
Come on. So
I want to say, Lynn, one of the worst things, the pickles that I've been in, was when I first started doing live events, and I ended up owing a hotel $10,000 that I had to pay off on credit cards for years.
Wow.
Yeah, I think I made $9,000 on the event, and it was all delayed payments coming in, but I had to pay the hotel there on the spot, so I had to put it all on my credit card. So to make that $9,000, it cost me about $15,000 with credit card payments and everything. And that is where, in the end of 2019, towards the pandemic, I decided I'm not going to do those big events anymore. They can be problems. Yeah.
Well, that would be a pickle.
Yeah.
That's without a doubt, that would be a pickle.
And I did everything. I crossed every T, dotted every I on the contracts to you know what I mean? But, it just bad situation that, you know what I mean? Everything that could go wrong went wrong.
Well, and you lived and learned.
Yeah.
You lived and learned. And so what do you love in your life other than your family?
For me, I loved riding motorcycle. I actually got 1 million miles on 2 wheels. I've been in every one of the 48 lower states on my motorcycle. I loved taking trips on motorcycles when it didn't rain. I've probably got 75,000 miles in the rain, pouring rain on motorcycles, because I've taken so many trips, and you just get caught in the rain. But I took a trip in 2010 that it started out here in Dallas. The whole objective was my wife was going to be in San Diego, and we were going to take a week's vacation in north of Los Angeles in like Central Coast area for a week. So I rode the motorcycle out to meet her in there, and then we spent a week in Central Coast, and then I rode all the way up to Seattle, out through Montana, all right, through Wyoming, all those wild areas of the country, and got to go through Yellowstone, things like that. I was gone for a month on the road on a motorcycle, and it was an adventure, and it was the first time I was ever to do it. And that was something I really loved doing. I love now I love it in the car. I get in the car and take a road trip.
I love it.
So yeah, I would rather drive somewhere than fly.
Oh, I hear you.
Yeah.
Okay. Can you recall a time in your life when you said I would never do that you ended up doing?
Yeah, a lot of them.
Okay. So
there's a lot of those. We don't have time. We don't have enough time in the show.
No, we don't. We got like 25 minutes, but give us one quickie.
When I was younger, there was a church in our town. Like I said, I'd never go to that church, and I ended up becoming a member of the church and being very involved with that church for several years. And then I came to Texas, and there was a big church here. It's like known as like the Six Flags Over Jesus Church, and I said I'm never going to. That church is too big. And when I went to it, I found out how small a big church can be when you join the small groups. So in both cases, I joined churches that I said, man, I'll never join that. And that second one, the one I joined here in Texas, the big church, because of going to that church is how my relationship I got to have the relationship and the friendship I had with Zig Ziglar until he passed. So.
Oh, I love that. I love that. So what meaning does living your best life have for you personally?
When you get up and every day, you just got to get up and enjoy whatever comes to you. All right. You can't, like I said, I'm going through a shitty situation in my life right now, but during that shitty situation, I was looking, how can I make the best of this? There is no upside to this, but while you're in it, and while I'm in it, while I'm mellowing down, I'm helping other people. That's living your best life, is getting up and doing whatever you can with where you're at. That's, to me, I get up every day, I don't have regrets. I get up every day and have coffee with my mom, and I'm overjoyed that my mom lives here next to me, and I get to go have coffee with her every day. That's a huge thing to me. I don't have my life so put up in meetings that I can't go do things and enjoy little things in life. We have Dallas Mavericks, season tickets, got to watch the Mavericks in 2 rounds of the playoffs this year. We have tickets to a music fair over, musical theater over in Fort Worth that we get to go enjoy. Those are little things like most people would be like, why? I'm like, we flew, I remember in 2019, we flew to San Francisco to go to this little town to see this little theater that seats like 80 people to see a show that's where it was playing in the country. So we're going to go fly there, and we're going to go do it and go enjoy it. And then we called up my mom and said, well, we got miles, we got hotel points. You want to go with? And we did.
Love it. I love that. Yeah. So what is the first thing you notice about a person?
I can tell usually by watching someone's eyes, nose, and face as to whether they're in a good mood or not. I can read people really well. I'm very observant of people. And I'll tell you a quick story on that one. As I was at McDonald's next to the Home Depot getting like a sandwich, I think Thursday or Friday. And I'm in McDonald's. I'm waiting there for my stuff. And I noticed this lady talking on the phone. And after she gets off the phone, I walk up and I said, I'm guessing that's your horse trailer outside. And she goes, yes, but it's alpacas in it. Right. And I said, well, I'm guessing, too, that as I watched it pull off, that your husband basically sent you in to get the food. And she goes, yep. So I walk back out. And by then the husband is in the truck and he's parked like 3 spots over and his window's down. So, and it's all enclosed. It's like a fully enclosed trailer. You really can't see inside of it. And I just say to him, oh, you know, as I'm getting in my car, I said, alpacas, huh? And he goes, yeah. And he's trying to figure out how I know that. So I walk up and I said, well, the truth is your lady friend inside, I said, just told me. He said, yeah, my wife is in there. I said, she just told me what you have in there. And I said, and when I walked up to her, I said, I don't mean to judge you, but I'm guessing by the way you're dressed that you're with that trailer, right? And this said this guy, and he says, you weren't judging her, you're just observant.
I love it. I love it.
So,
what makes a person beautiful to you?
Their attitude. So I married my wife because she was someone who not because she had the tiniest dress at the time or she wore the skimpiest bikini. All right. I married her because of her attitude in life. She was willing to do and go the distance for anyone she knows. And, this is my third marriage. And I've been in marriages in the past where I've had, and even dating relationships in the past where I've had partners who did not support me. Right. And as an entrepreneur who's been an entrepreneur my whole life, having someone talk down when you're not in the room, talk you down when you're not in the room really bothered me, especially when I share my bed with that person. This girl here, she would never say a bad word about me. And I've never said a bad word about anybody I've dated, period. All right. Makes you beautiful. All right. Is being a positive person. And the second I step out of the room, all right, you saying negative, you're no longer a beautiful person to me. You just lost your beauty.
I love that. I love that for many ways. So what mistakes have you made along the way? And we only got like 20 minutes.
Everything I've done, I've made mistakes and learned from it. Every day I make mistakes. Take business out of it, just life. I live in a 2-bedroom condo in far north Dallas. And we have a 1-bedroom condo that I just signed a deal. I just had someone offer to buy the 1-bedroom, but we used to live in that one. And we bought this one. And when we bought it from the people who had it. We said, don't fix anything because we're going to tear it apart. And we literally gutted this place and we fixed it the way we wanted. And now, because I'm getting ready to sell this, we keep houses about 4 years and then we move on to get another one. And we fix that one up too. But now, as I'm having to fix all the little odds and ends, I'm realizing how many things I did wrong in this house because I was like, well, I'll do it. All right. And like one of my mentors in my real estate investing, his name's David Fisher, great friend. David Fisher and I grew up in Pennsylvania, probably about 30, 40 miles from each other and never met each other until we were in our 40s and 50s. So, the mistake that David tells everybody is, he says, as a real estate investor, never pick up a hammer yourself. Write a check. Write a check. Stop doing the work yourself. And as I look at all the mistakes in this house, I see that, right? I picked up the hammer. I should have just wrote a check and had someone do it. I was cheap.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
That's good. So what's your big, hairy, audacious goals?
I live and do my entire online marketing business with one mission in mind. And I'm looking to create 10,000 people who are content creators, bloggers, vloggers, podcasters. I want to help them get an audience of 10,000 people. So each one of them has a following or a fan base or something of 10,000 people. And then I want to take that combination of their 10,000 people and help them start making $10,000 a month with it. That is my entire mission. That is written on my website. Yeah.
It's funny because that's kind of my audacious goal with the TV network I'm working on. So we'll have to talk behind the scenes on that one. That's awesome.
It's funny. Wait a minute. It's funny because you say that. When I was younger, probably in a youth group, when I was younger at 13, maybe 12, maybe 15. I don't remember how old I was, but I'm in a youth group, and I said one day, like someone asked me, say your goal or say something you want to do with the future. And I said, I think there needs to be a positive TV out there, and it is not. Some way, somehow, I'm going to be on screen, and I'm going to put a positive show. And at the time, like, I couldn't rub two nickels together, and I was a kid. And everybody who sat there in that youth group made fun of me for that. I don't talk to one person I talked to out of that whole group, he's in my Facebook page, but most of them don't talk to me. And it is funny that of all of those people who sat and laughed at me, that I have an international following now, and I do an online TV show.
Right? Yep.
So write down your audacious goals, because you don't know if they're going to come true or not.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. What are your success habits?
It's funny. I actually have these right here. This is everything I do has a checklist. Like, I have a meetup tomorrow night that has a checklist. This tells me the actions, everything I do on the show, on to set that show up. My podcast, everything I do is a checklist.
Love it.
All right. Before the show, after the show, the guests before the show. Like, I have, before we go live, I have a pre-show countdown of this is what I go through with the guests.
Awesome.
I could remember this stuff. Why do I write it down? It's an operations manual for a self-employed person.
Yeah.
I have a checklist for this. I am so much into putting myself in habit mode. I don't sit there. And I used to do this. I used to do this whole speech thing, Lynn, about goals. I used to talk about, so many people write goals, and I'm not big on the goal. I'm big on the success habits to reach a goal. You write the goal down, but then you don't focus on the goal. You focus on the habits that are going to get you there.
Yeah, the actions.
And I always talked about it. And I used to use the concept of a room. Like, if I was speaking in a room and it had a wall on this side and a wall on that side, I would start at this wall and say, most of us sit down and write goals, and that wall over there is our goal. And when we start out, we run. We leave this wall running because we're excited because we got a goal. About middle of the room, you stop. You drag. You sit down. Oh, it's going to take forever. And it's not until we get close to that other wall, that goal, then we start running again, and bam, we hit the wall. We hit the goal. We've achieved the goal. But in some cases, we're dead. We're used up. We're out of breath. We're out of energy because we just kill ourselves by hitting a wall of our goal. If we set the goal down and then built the habits along the way for what we do, the habits will carry you past the goal into finding your next goal.
Well, you know what?
The wall is no longer your goal. It is just a stepping point until you find the next stepping point.
Well, I learned from Gwynne a long time ago, because he spends a lot of time with us in Ken Wall's group, is goals. He says goals are outside of you. Goals, you're always trying to reach something that you'll never reach because they're outside of you. So even though I asked that question, I always think of what Glenn says. The goals are not attainable. They're outside of you. So, but anyhow, so what is your favorite quote?
Zig Ziglar. Shock, right? Everybody thinks it's the regular one. No, my favorite is a Zig Ziglar quote. Zig said, if you're afraid to go to church because you think there's too many hypocrites in the church.
You're a hypocrite yourself.
All right. We always have room for one more. So why don't you come join us? Favorite quote. Well, you know what I mean? There's a second one that Zig said, he's always used to say too, was, I don't want to reach the grave with a body that's well preserved.
Yeah.
I want to reach the grave with a body that's all used up. I want to slide in sideways going, woohoo, what a ride.
I love this.
Two things Zig used to say that I love.
I love that. I do a show with Cheryl Eisenhower, and she's a Zig Ziglar coach.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So I had the opportunity to be in the Ziglar Legacy program, and I turned it down. And my mom, I said yes to something on Craig many, many years ago. And my mom used to pick on me. Why'd you say no to Zig, but you said yes to Craig? Because basically, when I said no, Cindy Ziegler said, why? Julie Ziegler, the rebel in the family, went, I get it. I know why. Because Dad would have been the first person to tell you don't belong here. Zig Ziglar told me when I got started, don't cut my hair, don't buy a suit, don't buy a tie. It's not you. Be you. And Ziglar Legacy Program would have put me suit and tie speaker, which is exactly what Zig Ziglar told me not to be. Not saying the Zig Ziglar program is not great. It is. It's phenomenal for people. But it would have totally taken away from what God intended me to be. And
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. But, I think it's being surrounded and being with coaches and being with people like Glenn Morshower that, it just takes the right kindling and the right thing for you to see how great you are. And that's what Glenn Morshower has done for me.
I tell people all the time, Glenn Morshower, a lot of people like Glenn, right? Because
amazing.
they see him on TV. They see him on stuff, right? No. I like Glenn because I've ridden in a car with Glenn at midnight on the 405 in Los Angeles. And the conversation we had was, Glenn, I've never seen 24. And he said, I know, Tim.
Yeah.
You'd like it if you watched it, but it's all right. I like Glenn because I've seen Glenn behind the scenes. That's Glenn I love. I don't love Glenn on the screen. It's great to see it.
Right.
But I know Glenn behind the scenes. And if you ever got to know the real Glenn behind the scenes, he is a freaking awesome person.
Yeah.
Like, he's that person that makes you go, I gotta be better. I'm screwing this up. I gotta make myself better. He just attracts that out of you. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, no, I've spent clubhouse hours. I've green beaned a room with him. I mean, he's a mentor. He's a friend. We're so blessed. That's just all I got to say. Yeah. It's not always what you see on TV. It's amazing. He's just a pillar of the earth. I mean, he's just he's just amazing.
If I ever grow up, all right, you know what I mean? He's the guy I want to be when I grow up.
Yeah, he's amazing. He's amazing. What's the funniest joke you know by heart?
All right.
I know you know this.
All right. So can I use bad language?
Hello.
Okay.
We're 37 minutes in. If they haven't watched this far, then we're really damn good. So come on, go for it.
I have coffee with this gentleman, Bob Hobeck, every morning. He hangs out, but I knew Bob 20-some years ago. And Bob and I, you know what I mean? He took me to church. He introduced me to Zig, but I'm at his house. I'm a 30-some-year-old guy, and I come walk into his house. I think he was a deacon of the church at the time. And he says, honey, can I tell Tim the ice cream joke? And his wife says, yeah, go ahead. So I'm going to tell you the ice cream joke.
I had to drink now before I choke on the Go ahead.
Lady goes into a Baskin & Robbins, and she says, hey, I'm having an ice cream social. I need a gallon of chocolate, a gallon of strawberry, and a gallon of vanilla. The guy says, no problem, miss. I got the vanilla, I've got the strawberry, but I'm out of chocolate. She goes, okay, fine. I'll take a half gallon of chocolate, a half gallon of vanilla, and a half gallon of strawberry. Says, lady, all right, no chocolate, can help you on the vanilla and strawberry all you want. Fine. She goes, I'll take a quart of chocolate, a quart of vanilla, and a quart of strawberry. This guy goes, okay, lady, can you spell the van in vanilla? She goes, yes, it's V-A-N. Can you spell the straw in strawberry? S-T-R-A-W. This lady, can you spell the fucking chocolate? There's no fucking chocolate. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
Oh my goodness.
That's only one.
Okay, tell me another one.
I have another one, all right? For the gay people out there, please don't take offense to this one. A gay guy told me this one many years ago. And I've always loved how the people who can make fun of themselves. Mm-hmm. This gentleman said to me, he said, there were these three gentlemen who were gay. And they were talking about what they would want to be if they were reincarnated. So after death, and the one goes, well, I'd like to be a flower. So I can be like on lapels and men can smell me and sniff me and smell my good vibes. The second one says, no, I want to be a tuxedo because nothing looks sexier than me on another man. The third one says, I want to be an ambulance. And they're like, ambulance? What? And he goes, yep. He said, they can put that stiff up my rear end and I go around and go, woo, woo, woo.
Oh my gosh, I love that. That's hilarious.
My gay friend Mark told me that it's got to be 25 years ago.
That's
He was
hilarious.
a great friend. I haven't seen him in years, but he was a great friend.
Well, then, I
And
think you need to
having
call
a gay
it.
friend 25 years ago, much different than having a gay friend now.
Yeah. Well, you know what? You need to contact him. He came to thought. You need to contact him, and that's hilarious.
So,
my friend Bob thinks that's freaking funny. Yeah, it is funny. It's hilarious. I think thank you, Bob, for still watching. See, some people are still watching.
some people love you. You know that. You know that, Lynn. People love you.
Oh, well, I try to make it.
We come on your show. Anyway.
I try to make it fun. I mean, that's the whole thing. We're supposed to make this fun. What's the best trip? And I don't mean that. It's funny when I figured this. What's the best trip, traveling-wise, you've ever had?
Every trip I take, I consider it to be the new best one. So my last best one would have to be last September. My wife and I packed up the car and we went to Amarillo, Texas, where she grew up, stayed in downtown Amarillo in one of the seventh tallest building in Amarillo, which is now a hotel. It's a Marriott hotel. And we were on the top floor with a corner suite, could look out over the city and the fancy signs and stuff. And we went and just hung out with friends. So our next one, we leave on July 1st. Our anniversary is July 1st. And we take something around July every year. We're doing what we call a Wild West trip this time. We've got it planned out. We're going to Dodge City, Kansas. Woo, right? Big deal. But Dodge
Coming
City,
to Montana?
Kansas. Huh?
You coming to Montana where
I'm
I'm
going to
at?
make it to Montana this time. So from there, we're going to go to Denver, Colorado, stay in downtown Denver.
You're only 7 hours away from me from Denver.
I know, but I've got to come back. Denver's
okay.
my far point, right?
Okay.
Then we're going to go stay in Santa Fe, New Mexico. Then we're going to come back and do one more, and I think Amarillo.
Nice.
I think is the last night. I think, but yeah.
There we go. And Cindy Lou, I saw she sent me a message, but she was a little too late. So you're gonna have to get your personal message from her. I'm
actually Gladys and I are going to do something with Cindy's show. I think it's next month. I don't know when.
Nice, but she sent me via YouTube. I don't have time to do YouTube. I told her that, so I'm not bringing up the video. Sorry, Cindy, but I love you. But
all right,
it just didn't work.
Cindy's
didn't work out with my plans.
So.
What books recommendations do you have that have been impactful in your life?
Hold on, I will actually get it for you.
The Game of Life.
And How to Play It.
And How to Play It.
This book.
Love it.
Wait a minute. Here's what's really good about this book. Most people are like, oh, I want the newest, greatest book. Let me see if I can put this up to the camera far enough.
What does it say?
1925.
Wow.
When you think success principles are all new, I get the greatest life-changing success that I've got was from a book from 1925. I don't know if I have it up here. I write a lot of stuff. I'm really a lot of, and I don't have it up here. But I outlined a book that someday I'm going to write. It really doesn't fit my brand. That I want it to be a life-changing.
I'm trying. Like that. Wait a second.
Uh-oh.
Hold on. Okay, so look, this is a good book.
Yep.
And he's right there. So thanks, Bob, for showing up.
I think, Bob, I have that one, but it's over on the other shelf, Bob. I can't reach it.
It fell off my desk here. I had to go fishing for it.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
But I mean, I highly recommend this one. All right. For me, it's one of the other life-changing books that I read was The Purpose-Driven Life. I remember when I read that, it was very impactful to me. This was probably, and this one here, I was sleeping on a guy's couch when I was broke, and this was sitting on his table. And I bet you I have given away hundreds of this book.
Really?
And I've outlined a book that I thought was to be my significant impact.
Hold that
And
up
it's
again.
called You Don't Need a Life Coach, How to Fix Your Own Damn Life in 90 Days.
I love that. Hold that book up again.
So
there you go. All right. I got it. All right. So
I will send you a copy if you want one. I probably have 4.
Oh, that's cool. We're almost finishing up because I get the honors to be with Bob Donnell here in a few minutes.
Yeah.
What is the biggest factor that has helped you to be successful?
I read a quote one day about from Thomas Jefferson. No, not Thomas Jefferson. Who's the guy who created the light? Thomas Edison.
Edison, yes.
Yeah. And it said most people, have no idea how close to success they are when they give up.
Oh gosh, yes.
And
I
that
love that.
pushes me. Some days, like the year that I paid $30,000 to go to work, that pushed me past that. I mean, I want you to think about that. Some of you out there are like all about, man, hey, I got to get my salary. Imagine paying $30,000 a year to go to work that year.
Yeah.
That's entrepreneurialism. That's just, you have good years and have bad years. And I remember when I applied for the mortgage to buy this house, and the lady said to me, she said, your first, I said, my first mortgage. She said, your first house? I said, no, my first mortgage. She goes, how did you buy a house without a mortgage? I said, I've been an entrepreneur my whole life. And after going through 2 wives, I learned when you have a good year, you pay for the house. Because if you don't, she leaves on a bad year. She doesn't want to stay in a homeless situation. And I have been homeless. I've lived in the mansion. I've lived in the cardboard box. And I am not afraid to go back to either one.
I love that. I love that. We're going to stop on this question probably. If you had one piece of advice to someone just starting out, what would it be?
Get a mentor. Get help. All right. Don't forge your own path. I spent 12 years in real estate just as an investor here or there. It wasn't until last year that I hired a mentor in real estate. When he basically, the mentor I hired started the same time as I did with the same amount of money. He's worth 10 million. My real estate's not even worth $1 million yet.
Yeah. Hello,
Same
McFly.
Hire a mentor.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah.
Oh man. Let me ask you this. What's the last thing that made you smile other than me? Because I don't count.
The people, when I watch the people in Starbucks in the morning, there's this lovely girl, Amy, who's a little Vietnamese girl who comes in, and she's always there and saves the seat for me and my mom. She sits in the seat that I want every morning until I get there. And she goes, I saved your seat for you.
Oh, how sweet.
Makes me smile. I love Amy. So it's great people.
Oh, that's awesome. Tim, this has been so much fun. I really appreciate you. And I there we go.
Hey, Tim, I want to thank you for being on Lynn's show today. It was great to finally have you on the podcast. Thank you for being you. Thank you for always supporting my shows and stopping by. I'm always smiling when you stop by. So thank you so much. You make a difference in my life when you hang out. Thank you.
That's so cute that you're going over the top from further than I do. So yeah.
You know what? That's just it. I love what I do, and I have to top myself every time. So, Tim.
So when are you going to be on my show?
It would be an honor to be on your show.
It's not going to be till August because
that's okay.
This studio will be gone in a month, and I won't have the other recordings. This may be the last recording from this studio.
Ooh, and my ambiance matches your ambiance. So how cool is that?
Yeah.
So again, it was an honor to have you here. I hope you felt special because I believe so many people should be eulogized and appreciated while they're here, not when they're gone, because it breaks my heart when people's celebrations are bigger. And I always say, if only they knew. And here, I don't do selfish plugs here, but it's purple. So check him out. Check this out. Check out marketing. Who knows? I might even talk easy marketing for you. I might.
It's Simple Easy Marketing. I own the trademark onto it, but yeah, Simple Easy Events. And what it is when you join our events, you get lifetime access. You get all the past ones, you get all the future ones. We were supposed to be doing one this Friday, but we're going to be canceling it because of the fact that I have got another place I've got to be. So, but yeah.
Well, I love it. I love it. I thank you so much for being here. And next time we'll have to ask why you were so crazy with Styx. But
Hey, Styx just thought I was the rock star.
well, because you are a rock star.
And I did learn from their keyboardist. Actually, told me later on that night that was the most fun photo they did that night.
Oh, that's awesome. You guys, check out Tim Gillette. Go follow him. And if 5 o'clock somewhere, he's always doing a little podcast with some mixtures and whatnot. So go check him out. Tim, stay right there. Love you guys. Thank you for being here. And as always, live, love, laugh, and let go of the shit that doesn't work for you, okay? Have a good one.